Hello and good morning or good afternoon, wherever it is, whenever it is that you are streaming in. Welcome to Soul Food and Grace. My name is Gina Harris, and I am passionate about helping faith-based entrepreneurs and individuals find purpose and share their soul stories with the world. So you guys, today we are on day 10. This is January 10th, and we ended Matthew. And we are going into Mark. And first, I will tell you, I apologize for being a few minutes late. I'm trying to do these at 5:15. This gives me time to do my own Bible study, make my notes, and so forth. So I apologize. I had to restart my computer and had some technical challenges there. So you guys, what I thought for today is I wanted to kind of just do some key concepts for Mark. Can you believe we are already finished with Matthew? And even though, it's pretty small, but still, I want you to take a moment right now. And if you have been following along, I want you to congratulate yourself, because I just pulled and just, this is a side note here. I love these little tabs. It helps me get right to where it is that I'm going. One of my friends, she didn't have them, and she was always fumbling whenever we would study together. Anyway, so I told her, just go get them. That link that I put below on the videos, you can go and get those tabs for your Bible. They work handy. But as I did that, I'm grabbing Matthew, and although it's not really thick, one of the things that is not only the goodness of being able to spend time with the Lord, right? But having him, it's almost as if he's walking with you saying, you got this. You're going to, be able to sit, have time with me and accomplish these tasks, that may seem daunting or overwhelming, that, you look at all of it and it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So I just wanted to take a moment and want you to congratulate yourself. And it's those little baby steps that we do. Those little steps that we do every day toward our goal. We no longer, worry about the whole staircase. And I'm thinking even of 2020, don't worry about the whole Bible. That's what God kind of spoke to my heart, is don't be overwhelmed, G, by all of this and how you're going to do it and every day what that's going to look like. And even if you mess up, like all that kind of stuff, just like focus on the one thing. And that's really coming through for me today, because it really surprised me. I was just like, wow, we're just moving right along. And then I did on my Facebook page, I put the banner to represent the first, was it 45 days, I believe, so that you can kind of see, because I was trying to figure out how I would do it here on YouTube, and because I'm choosing to do these live, and I was struggling with it. So you guys, how is it going? I would really love to hear. I know a couple of you messaged me. I'm just so excited how God is working in your life. But I love to hear those stories. And so yes. Please share. Okay. So I'm going to read the key concepts of Mark. And then I did forget to write tomorrow's reading, but tomorrow will be 3, 4, and 5, because I always remember it's 3. So it makes it bite-sized and easy, right? At least it has been for me. Okay, so the key concepts: Jesus is the Messiah and Son of God who exercised extraordinary authority to overcome the forces of Satan, sin, and disease. And remember, I don't know if you heard me in a prior video, but I'm reading an NIV version, and this is actually a study Bible. So it has these key concepts I really like. Okay, so Mark's action-packed, I won't read all of it, but just the highlights. Mark's action-packed gospel was written at a time when allegiance to Jesus could cost one everything: family, friends, possessions, and even life itself. In the context of growing opposition from the Roman government and from society in general, Mark called God's people to follow the example of Jesus, who remained faithful to God no matter what the cost. Oh, that gave me goosebumps because, again, like I said the other day, there's so many things that even though we cannot relate to, we can relate to some of the things going on in our world and the scary, sometimes, oftentimes, the scary times, right? Where we just don't know where it's headed, which is another reason why I even feel that God has called me at this particular time to do this. I see so many brothers and sisters doing that are, you know, not the typical pastor, preacher, priest, all of those things. He's doing a revival. And I know this is not about what we're talking about, but I have to share it because literally my husband and I were just talking about it, about how, a couple of years ago, I felt that within God uprooting even sisterhood connections for me. And I won't get into all of that, but I felt some of that. He had to shake things up because he needed my focus somewhere else. I didn't know at that particular time it was this. But you know what? He's doing that across our world. So as we may go through parts in this beautiful book where it might feel doomy, gloomy, I want you to see the light through it as well. And in those times, I told a client this yesterday. I was in a session. She specifically talked about a certain part of the Bible she was really having a hard time ingesting. And in the Old Testament, there are places, gosh, I can relate to that. I don't know if you can. But I told her, I said, in those specific times, and here's a nugget for you of what I did. Now, it may or may not work for you, but I just feel led to share today for some reason. The link below with I think I'm putting them in the videos. I will double check. If not, it's called BibleGateway.com. And what I will do is I vibe with the NIV. If you are new to this and say you spent money and, I had a client that she just went out and I think she got a New King James and she, I taught her how to kind of look at different versions and she realized that she liked the Message version. And so she ended up having to do, get another book. And so that's why I always tell people, try to learn what it is that you relate to best and get that kind of course, there might be pastors out there that tell you there's a different way, but that's just for me. I kind of did that. And the one, I forgot what one I got, but I don't really relate to it as much. I like the NIV, but what I will do is on those doomy gloomies or those things that areas in the Bible, they're really hard to ingest. I'll pray about it. And then I will go to the Bible Gateway. I'll put in the verse. And sometimes I'll try to get it like before or after and really try to get in what it is that is being, shared. And I will click on the different versions. And now I have a list of them, of ones I kind of my go-to. But I've like yesterday I was sharing my screen with my client and we clicked on the different versions. And then when she saw the Message version, she was like, whoa, that's way different than the one that she was using, which was the Catholic version. So anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. You can really go deeper, even if, let's just say you understand and it's feeding your soul, right? But you just really are so like, oh my gosh, like the other day I was just in it. Well, you might want to take parts, have your computer next to you or your iPad or whatever, or your iPhone, and you pull it up and you just look at the different versions and man, you can go deep. It's just something that I've done that works really good for me. So as we go doomy gloomy, try to see that light, pray about it. God will show you. I gave that reference about being a parent the other day because so many times he uses my example because he knows I can relate, especially right now, where I still have a little one in the house. But also where I've raised two that are grown adults now, I can relate to being a parent. And in those times where I have felt a certain sort of way, he'll show you're no different than what I'm trying to do with you, And so, oh my gosh, yes, let's carry on. So some key verses, Mark 1:7, after me comes the one more powerful than I, the straps whose sandals are not worthy to stoop down and untie. Wow. Mark 3:35. I was just remembering a dream I had. Maybe I'll share that here sometime. And it was literally about cleaning Jesus's sandals. It was a dream I had. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so Mark 3:35. Whoever does God's will is my brother, sister, and mother. I won't read all of them, but hopefully you can really dig in because there's if you notice the first part of Mark, it can, like, when I early in my years, I remember going, well, didn't I just read about this? But it is, it is different. As you'll find, the New Testament is the different perspectives, I guess you would say. Okay, so we read 1 and 2, and I'm going to read this section here that I thought was really good, and they put it at the end of section 2, and that is, why did Jesus call himself the Son of Man? Jesus revealed and concealed himself by using that somewhat mysterious phrase, Son of Man. Jesus was clearly human, but he was divine as well. His ministry progressively revealed this fact. To those who would oppose him, he chose to conceal his identity. To those who, yeah, because remember before he was before they took him to the cross, when they were saying, are you the Messiah? And he said something to the fact of, you say I am that. He never said, yes, I am. So that's interesting, huh? Son of Man is used 14 times in Mark and was Jesus's favorite term for himself, Son of Man. And of course it was, right? Like, he is the ultimate servant. Like, oh, it just gave me chills. He didn't want you washing his shoes, although all of his followers wanted to wash his shoes and serve him like that. He wanted to serve, the prostitutes and all the people that were rejected. Yeah. Okay, so get focused, G. See why I have to have notes? I can so easily go on tangents. Okay. By taking on this title in Mark 13:26 and 14:62, Jesus established himself as the fulfillment of the heavenly authority figure of Daniel, which is 7:13 through 14. The one who is granted the right to come to earth to rule and judge on behalf of God. The term blends the heavenly and earthly aspects of the Messiah. Because of his divine nature, God granted authority to Jesus to forgive sin. Because of his earthly mission to be a ransom for many, he suffered and was rejected, betrayed, and killed, and then rose again. While others may not have immediately grasped what Jesus meant by his title, Jesus used it to claim authority, demonstrate power, and assume responsibility no other man could. I don't know, you guys. I just get goosebumps after goosebumps. It's such a blessing to be able to, just study this and be in this space. And, he's talking about this. It hit my spirit, and I do want to just share. We're going on 13 minutes. I'm hoping you give me grace with this. Even if you don't have time, come back and listen later. But yesterday, I want to take a good amount of time and be able to share the full story with you guys on this channel, because I think it'll be a testimony that will put people, like, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm going to share some of the ways that God has literally kind of just like, whoo, pulled me out of situations. I need you over here, whatever. But this is, when you hear the whole story, you will know why this is so big for me. Not only has, helping people find their purpose, because that's what God was working on with me, like, over the last 5 years, getting me out of corporate America and all the things that he's done in my own life. I decided one of the things that I was doing with clients consistently was helping show them who God shows me who they are and who he created them to be. And that's been my driving force. And so when we first moved to Baton Rouge, I was working on this program about purpose. Now I've renamed it a million times, but it's always been, and I didn't feel worthy to do this, course. And so shifting gears a bit, I can't fully go into all of it because it'd make it too long, but I promise to do a video very soon on it. I think it'll be good for everyone that's following here too, that they can go watch and listen to. Yesterday, God had led us to this Purpose Church, which is a complete blessing. Like most talk about serendipity. Not only is it called Purpose Church, like I had prayed about it and asked for God to guide me and show me, and it was called Purpose Church. Like it's the most amazing thing. I still get goosebumps. So yesterday it was our pastor's 40th birthday, and he was trying to get $40,000 by the time he was 40. I'm going to tell you something. Like it was in my mind on Sunday. I was like, oh, I want to share that. Like what a beautiful thing. This beautiful family that has started this church is only 2 years old. They are doing just incredible things in Baton Rouge and beyond. In LA, like they're just doing some incredible work. Well, he's specifically raising it for he's also got Restoring Purpose, which is helping, people clear their lives up. And the reason I'm sharing this is because as I was reading this and the reminder of what Jesus did, he never went and helped people, it was always the people that everyone cast aside and said, you're worthless. And that's literally what Pastor Chad does. And I just got goosebumps. I feel very proud to be able to, support them. So anyways, I did share it yesterday on Facebook. He's trying to raise $40,000. Yesterday was his birthday. Yesterday was the goal. But of course, it's never too late. I actually wanted to get 40 people. I have not been on Facebook yet. I know a few of my friends reached out and said they were either going to do it or they had just donated. So my personal goal was to get 40. It would have been cool to do it by yesterday, but I was not I had a busy week, and I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just owning my stuff. It was not a good time for me. So anyways, we're on 17 minutes, so I want to cut this video, but I want to tell you, if you are passionate about supporting that incredible church and the mission, I'm going to put both links. We have Purpose Church, but the Restoring Purpose, he is working. He has a couple of homes for men and women, separate homes, where and I've met some of these people. It's amazing. And some of these stories where people have just given up on him, and he's really restored them. And this is what Jesus did and does. And I know Jesus is working through Pastor Chad and his wife Angel. So if you hear this and you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to do this, God's calling you, even if it's $4. Like I was like, gosh, if I could get $4, 40 people doing $40, or 40 people doing 40, or 40 doing 400. I mean, whatever you can do, just knowing that your money is sowing into something that is just phenomenal. I mean, like, it's amazing. So you guys, tomorrow, remember, we are reading Mark 3, 4, and 5, and I would love to see you in our Fiercely Faithful tribe, where we're really all kind of on this journey to, not just restoring peace, but even just like building that faith, building a faithfully life. So I love you so much. Be blessed, whatever time of the day it is for you, whether you're going to bed or you're getting up. God loves you. And I believe that you are listening to this. You're getting in the Word, whether you've done it before, whether it's your first time, whether you don't even know where to start, wherever you're at in your spiritual journey, I'm hugging you. I've been there. Unless you're really deep into it, probably haven't been there, but I just want you to know that you're not alone, and I love you so much, but I would really love to hear from you. So get connected with me. I'd love to hear your story. I love you. Be blessed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.